So, real estate, good sir, tell me what your impression right now of the Tampa real estate market, like what's going on, because there's a lot, you know, I get this question all the time, like, oh, when are things going to sell, when are things going to drop, when's the market going to crash, etc. Tampa obviously is a different market than I think most markets, right?
100%.
And so what is your stance right now on the current Tampa real estate market? What's your impression, overall look?
I think it's a positive one for sure. I think everything right now in post-COVID world is a little strange, of course, and nobody knows exactly what the horizon holds, which I think is somewhat expected now that we're 8-9 months into this thing. But the election being over, I think people have kind of, you know, come off of the sidelines, trying to dive back in. It seems to always kind of occur around election. Just people put things on pause, wanting to figure out where they think things are going to look like and go. But now that that's over, I feel like people are jumping back in a little bit. We're hearing that comment somewhat, but I think the Tampa market is really poised to continue to grow. I mean, there's a lot of chatter right now that, you know, there's a lot of mortgages are in some form of forbearance as a result of the stimulus relief and the CARES Act that was passed. I personally don't think the numbers are quite as bad as what the pure data will show. I am hopeful that there will be some form of relief where if you've been in a forbearance of your mortgage for 3, 6, 8, 9 months now where you've not made a payment, that you don't have to make a lump sum payment, because that lump sum payment is what's going to really hurt a lot of people and is what's going to send a lot of people into foreclosure. And if that occurs, then I think markets throughout the country are going to really suffer. But if there's some form of relief where it allows a modification of the mortgage where those amounts are put onto the back end, or somebody can refi out of that mortgage where they might not traditionally be able to do so in a forbearance scenario, those type of things I think will greatly help, and I think will kind of keep people where they are. The good news is there's a lot of people with a lot of equity in their property. I do think that regulation of the mortgage industry has been much greater since the Great Recession, and people are actually fairly well verified for what they're purchasing and acquiring. And so I don't foresee a scenario like we saw in 2007 and 2008. I do think there's going to be some drop off. I do think there's going to be some people that are exposed to a foreclosure, and I think to deny that the impacts of the pandemic are going to be anything short of major is really putting your head in the sand. But I don't know that it's going to have a huge impact on the housing market, and I think in particular the Tampa Bay housing market. We're seeing a tremendous number of people move to this area. We're hearing regularly people that are mass exiting California, New York, New Jersey, some of the high tax states, some of the states where shutdowns have been pretty uniform throughout the pandemic. And so it's a mix of people either disagreeing with how the pandemic has been handled from a shutdown perspective, as well as it is as a taxation issue for them. But we're seeing a lot of people relocate to the Florida area, and in particular Tampa Bay area. And I think Tampa is really at a stage where it's never been before. So we've had an emergence on the scene as what I would consider truly a secondary market, and Tampa's never been that before. And so I think you talk to people that are coming from primary markets and they can't believe what they can get here in this market. So the affordability is there for them. They believe that there's, you know, truly deals to still be had. And I mean, the size of Tampa is not overwhelming, but we have pretty much everything that big cities have to offer, but in a very livable setting. So I think the Tampa Bay market is poised to do very well for the foreseeable future, honestly, despite what the rest of the country might be